Okay, folks, thanks for clicking the button and tuning in. I know you're probably clicking through and scrolling through a lot of videos, and I'm appreciative that you've chipped onto this one. I think you're going to find it like sad, uplifting, and we're going to show you a microcosm of what's going on up and down this country with these massive governmental agencies that appear to be accountable to no one. They've left the people behind, and this is a real life story. I'm here now on a small holding and a farm down in the most beautiful place that I'm going to show you and explain to you and introduce you to a beautiful old gentleman in his mid-70s who's run this little camping and caravan site since 1957. I was 1 year of age when his dad and his mum founded this small little place. Like, bear in mind that we're actually in Barmouth, which is an absolute diamond and a gem of a place. It's probably the most hidden, beautiful place that we've got access to. I like it better than Cornwall, Devon, any of these major, and it's just tucked away as a hidden diamond at the bottom of Snowdonia. And that's where Bob's lived, Farmer Bob, we're going to call him. And you won't have time to get to assess him properly. I'm just going to tell you his story. And at the end of that story, I'm going to ask you to react. I'm going to ask you to realise that what's happening here is important. It is a microcosm, and it's something we can get involved in, because this lovely old guy has been absolutely battered and destroyed by the Snowdonia National Park. I'm going to run through the story with you. You're going to be as sickened by it, I'm sure, as I am. And we're going to do something about it, because we're going to email these people, and we're going to get this video out, and we're going to get Bob's story out. I'm going to show you a beautiful place. I'm going to introduce you to a place that generations have come to camp and to enjoy this beautiful place with little static caravans. And I think that is what they don't like, because just 2 miles down the road, the beach is littered with caravan debris. Lions, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Yet this little old gentleman who has done everything at a peppercorn rent for people that can't afford holidays, he's still doing it now. He helps people out who are stuck, and he can come and he can stay here and enjoy it and get the mind back together. And we're going to preserve it and hopefully encourage other farmers and stuff to do what we're going to do here between us all. I'm going to load this up on Navigate channel as well. If you're interested, that's up there with a link, and please get involved. If we can get a movement together here, we've got to turn this around. And as well as this being a story like that's going on, it's going to relate. I'm going to run right through the law situation. You're going to get my take on it, you're going to get Bob's take on it, and he's not feeling too well as we speak. He's got diabetes and he's struggling big time, and that's where we're going to step in and help. And by doing that, we're going to stick 2 fingers up at every governmental organisation and say, like the normal people aren't having it, we think your behaviour is monstrous. So have a little look around here, and we're going to introduce you to Bob. And you can't get his character in a small video. I want you to think of Claude Greengrass from Heartbeat. Well, right, just work, or just trying to make ends meet, get some wood in the fire, try and keep the wolf from the door, or Compo from Last of the Summer Wine. Or this is the type of character Bob is. He's not educated, he's a working man, and that's what I love. I'm sure that's what you're going to appreciate when you meet him. Aye, Bob. Tell them where you're at now. What have you got on the desk here now in the way of notices and bailiffs and kicking your door down and taking your property? What have you done, mate? And then we'll tell them.
They put enforcement notice on the field over there.
Yeah.
Which is where a lot of the people wanted to go on there, because the view, they loved it up there and it was great. And they put an enforcement notice on me and stopped me using the field.
Who was that, Bob? What was
the
name?
National Park.
Yeah, no, who done it?
It'll be, I think it'll be Jane Jones.
Okay, so
she's the main one that comes here and
okay.
Has all the objections.
Yeah, what does she object to, mate?
anything I do, she objects to.
Hey Bob, why do you think that is, mate?
I don't know. I was building the house in the Nant before.
How long ago? Bob?
2008. She was visiting me there.
And why did she turn up? You know, you did going about your business.
I was minding my own business, building my own house up.
Yeah, well, that was a wreck, wasn't it, Bob, the house? And he was just restoring it back to how it should look.
Yes.
Okay, which everyone should do, shouldn't he?
And not putting any brickwork in there or any concrete blocks. I was building it all up in stone with a passion.
Yeah, because you love it, you live here.
Yeah. And I wanted it right.
Yeah, mate. Was you going to live in it, Bob?
Yeah, I wanted to live there because when you got campers here, it'd be nice to get away from here.
Of course, yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do. But
so what happened? You was doing that work, and then what happened? Someone turned up.
They came and they told me to stop building.
Who James Jones and somebody else?
Yeah, it
From
was
the
a bloke called
Park.
a chap called Alex Sturkey.
Alex Sturkey, that's nice of it, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Sturkey wanted me to stop.
And was you keeping him awake at night, Bob? Was you playing loud music, mate?
No.
No, you was doing nothing to nobody.
Nothing at all.
No, you was on your own property.
Yeah.
Minding your own business.
Your own business. Paying a lot of money to build this place back up as it should be.
And then these two individuals turn up when you're in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
And said what? Stop.
I can't remember what they put some kind of notices on me.
Right,
and I asked for some advice, and the people told me.
Go back a little bit, mate, to what you tell me on the encounter when they showed up. And did you say something about she wanted to take photographs?
Oh yeah, she wanted to take pictures.
Bob, tell them exactly what happened, mate. You're working away.
So I was working away, and she was walking down the field, and she said, hello. She said, we're from the National Park. She said, we want to take pictures. And I said, no pictures. I said, why do you want to take pictures?
Got no right
She said, oh, no. She said, I want to take pictures because I want you to stop doing this work. And I said, no. I said, no pictures. I said, put your camera back in your bag. Yeah. Otherwise, if you pull that out of the bag, I'm going to throw it in the pond. There was a pond there.
As you're quite entitled to, mate.
Yeah.
They were trespassing, Bob, on another man's property.
And Alex Sturkey was going to follow it. But they cleared off, and they just sent bad letters then.
Yeah, there's no
But the thing was, you see, right up until then...
Started persecuting you, mate, what they did.
Yeah, and they were sending letters, and I said, could you send the letters in English?
Oh, wow.
Because my children... They've not been brought up in Wales, so they can't speak Welsh. Nice. So if I've got them to see anything, if I want them to see anything, or
yeah,
I want them to be able to read the letters.
Of course, mate. Yeah.
So it's for them to understand, really. But they weren't all funny with me then.
In what way, mate?
Well, just said letter after letter after letter.
Is this Jane Jones?
Yeah.
Okay, mate.
I felt that they were having a go at me because I asked them to be done in English. But you can't say that really.
When did she turn up on this site that you was working on? Was this after you sent the letter asking for them to be in Welsh, or after? Did you send a letter?
No, but they came down and saw, and they sent me some letters, and then I asked them to be done in English.
So why did she turn up in the first place with a camera?
Somebody talking, I think.
Mate,
Gossiping.
Mate, you can't even find that house. I couldn't find it.
No.
All you can see is the apex of the roofs.
Yeah.
So they had a complaint.
Was people gossiping. I don't think they had a complaint. How can they complain? Well, there's nothing around there.
I know, mate. I can't even find it.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, since I've been down here talking to you the last 3 days or whatever, you told me that Jane Jones had actually contacted some of your neighbours of long standing.
Yeah, well, she keeps...
Tell the story, Bob.
She keeps contacting the neighbours.
And saying what, mate?
Asking them to if there's any complaints coming from here.
So she's eliciting them?
Yeah, she wants them to get back to her with complaints.
Okay, and they're willing to come on camera, Bob, and say that, or will he sign a
I
deposition?
don't know, I never asked them. It's just, I ran into two of them, and they said that solicitor, that woman from the National Park, she's a nuisance. Keep asking us if we've got some complaints about Tim Pant, and would we forward letters to her?
Can you believe this, folks? Can you believe this? That there are hundreds and hundreds of caravans littered all around here, and they're persecuting Bob. And there's got to be a reason, mate. And between us, we're going to ask them, but we're going to compel them to tell us what that reason is. Because I want you to bombard these people with emails, and I want you to get vocal, and I want you to share our Bob's story here, because I'm not having it, and I'm sure you're not. Are you having it, Bob?
No.
Neither am I. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, so that eventually I stopped working up there because I had a diabetic turn, so I thought I'll leave it. And the chap that was helping me, he said, I can't come anymore because he didn't want to get into trouble with the National Park.
Oh, lovely. So they made him afraid to go to work?
Well, they're not afraid. You can't say that, but he said, I can't come anymore. He said, I don't want to upset them.
Wow.
So that was me then, shot for doing the house because you can't do it on your own.
Oh my.
So I've come down here and I'm just carrying on with work round here as normal. I've got people camping over the road and people camping on this side of the road, and they decided one day to put an enforcement notice on me. They got a complaint. They put a complaint in 2011, I think it was.
You were looking for them, weren't you, mate?
Yeah, of course they were.
All right, okay. And
they keep coming here, taking pictures.
Wow.
And telling me that I can't have farming equipment around here.
On a farm?
Because it's a campsite.
Yeah.
I mean, the woman's insane.
She's nearly, yeah, mate.
But, all the stuff over there, it's my stuff. And she said I shouldn't have a dumper there, but I use the dumper. I like using the dumper. I like the dumper better than the tractor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they're necessary for your benefit?
Any little thing she can find, she makes a big noise about it.
Yeah. Bob, you know what? The paperwork you showed me last night. What was the thing where when you did fix it, you had to get planning permission off them, didn't you?
They say that I haven't got a licence.
No, I meant for the house initially.
Oh yeah, the planning permission, that's for the house up the top there.
So they made you stand down doing what you was perfectly entitled to.
Well, I've been since 2008. I've been trying to get planning permission on there.
So you could carry on doing what you could do anyway.
And eventually they come up with all sorts of excuses.
Go through them, Bob.
They've had about 4 people in charge of the job, because as I go through all the objections with one person, then they pass it to another person, and you have to go through all the objections again.
You have to pay for every one of them.
And every time you put in for planning, it costs you 360 or 400. It's 480 now.
And how many times have you done that, Bob?
Oh, countless times. I don't know.
This sounds like a collateral attack.
But they gave in the end, and they put a 106 on there.
What's a 106?
A 106 is for local occupancy.
Okay, so this is your property.
On my property,
that you've controlled for decades.
Yeah, and then I've wanted an open plan on there, because if the kids want to come and live there, they couldn't come.
So you can pass it to your children?
I can't because it's got to be local occupancy.
Tell them what a 106 is. So now, folks, you can go through and have property, that's been in your family for generations. You can restore a wreck and put it back together And these unofficial governmental agencies, these Jane Jones types, I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she's turned herself into a machine, can come along and just tell this man that you sell it to who we sell it, we'll tell you who can live in it, we'll tell you what you can do with it, and if you don't comply, then you're going to be in more trouble. This is what we're going to get to the bottom of. Go ahead, Bob, carry on.
And if I sell it, I've got to pay the national park for £47,995.
Yeah, to sell it. So
and that's coming out of my pocket.
So what about?
They just put all sorts of objections in front of me. So I got somebody else then to carry on with the planning on there, and they eventually put an open plan on there, so that it's open now. I can sell it to anybody I want.
And you always could have done, Bob, but now you.
Yeah, but well, you know, who do I believe?
Yeah, this is where
they put the frighteners on you, and you think, oh God. And you see, the frighteners is one thing, but it's how much it's going to cost me. I've thrown thousands and thousands at the bloody place, and getting nowhere.
Yeah, Bob.
And when Jane Jones used to come here, she used to come here with Elaine Thomas. And they bring the letters themselves, bringing the letters to hand deliver them.
Yeah.
And when they were hand delivering them, they'd always be sniggering and giggling in the car, you know, and making fun. Yes.
See them, mate. These people think this stuff's funny, mate.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do, mate. There's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Bob, this latest one, mate, where I've got involved, this is where I walked around it. I was coming up here for a holiday, by the way, and to get away. I didn't know Bob was going through this. A friend of mine told me, recommended Bob to me, said this is a beautiful place. He's a beautiful gentleman. They've operated this caravan and campsite since 1957. It is exempt from all of their rules and regulations because of the 10-year rule. He's got dozens of people over the years who are going to a full deposition. They've got no right whatsoever to do this. This is like martial law. This is a takeover, and this is what they're doing here. So they came up, this lady, and he's got caravans up there. He's got people who are camping there, that they've always camped there. They've always stayed there. And slaps a flipping notice on the gate while Bob's not even there, right? You put yourself in that position, and as campers and the campers and the caravanners come down and see a notice, and it's said to cease trading.
Yeah.
So they're all there in uproar. You can imagine it. They're on holiday, looking at the sea, bucket and spade and all of that.
They're frightened to come here because of getting themselves into trouble.
And intimidated.
They are intimidated because I've moved some of them from up the top there. I've moved them down here.
The whole place is cluttered, Bob. It looks a mess because of it, mate, and it shouldn't.
All the others have left, gone.
How many, Bob? How many customers have you lost, mate?
Oh, I've lost, well, countless customers.
Nice, Jane, eh?
Because they, they've been coming every year when now there's a problem, or they think there's a problem, so they don't want to come here and spoil the holidays. It'll ruin the holidays.
Of course. So
they're not coming anymore.
So you're being destroyed, mate. Your business, your livelihood, your income, and
everything. They just take it away from you, and it without reason.
No, there is a reason, mate. The wicked.
Yeah, well.
This is wickedness, mate, and this is greed.
Yeah.
And this is a machine. And you know, the thing is, when Bob turned up on that day, when these two lovely people had arrived, and had to find that thing, and he read it, he was confronted by the people who would come on holiday, camping and caravan. Can you imagine the stress of that? They were not happy with him. You know, he's got diabetes, and they just dumped this bomb on him, and his life has been destroyed through it. His business has been destroyed through it.
Also, they put me in court and fined me, but they'd taken all my income away from me.
Yeah,
and they still fine me, although my income's been taken away from me. Where's that judge thinking, how can you How can you expect somebody to pay a fine if you've taken him his income away from
You
him?
want to take your property away. There's a bigger picture involved, Bob. They're taking everyone's land, mate. This is the mechanism they're using. We're going to stop it.
Yeah, well,
We're going to stop it.
that's the situation anyway.
Listen, folks, you know, this is only a quick video and that. You've listened to Bob's tale. And, mate, we're going to nail this in the High Court. We are going to drag these people into the High Court. The 10-year rule was in effect for Bob, and he had no right to do that whatsoever. This will go to the High Court, and these people are going to get prosecuted. And do you want me to tell you an irony in closing? Right? The High Court heard a case that was brought by a farmer and another person against the National Park in Dartmoor. Now let this sink in after what you've just heard Bob say. Right, this was brought in the High Court by a farmer against Dartmoor, and the farmer managed a big tract of land down on Dartmoor, and they had sheep and they had animals and they grazing and all of that stuff going on there. And what was happening is people were camping, and I think there may have been a fire started by somebody. So these farmers, rightly so, were not happy, but they went to the National Park and said that they wanted to prohibit people camping and using the National Park, what they were responsible for, from doing it, effectively banning them from camping and caravanning. And they put that into the National Park, who fought the case. And their argument was that the public had every right to come onto the National Park. They had every right to camp, and they had every right to enjoy the National Park for its leisure facilities. That was the National Park's case. Look what they've just done to Bob. I want to stay on Bob's field. I love the view. And they're saying I can't do it, or they'll nail him. They can't, this is upside down. So then, they lost, the farmer lost, and the Dartmoor National Park won. Yes, you can camp on National Park land. Yes, you can use it for leisure and for tourism. That's what it was for. The National Parks, do a little bit of research, was founded in the 30s when you could not even go on the National Parks. They were owned by Lord so-and-so and Lady this and Baron this. They were private property, and all the mill workers in Manchester and all the people who were sweating in the looms and in the mills, they couldn't access the moors. So they organised a mass trespass. Thousands and thousands of them walked onto the moors, which was their birthright as an Englishman, as an Englishwoman, just as a human being. These people did not create that marshland. They've got no right to take custody of it whatsoever. But that's what they've done. And they've argued in court, so then they lost. So then the farmers took it to the Supreme Court, and the judgment came out last year by Lord Justice Stevens. And you know what he said? He read out the legislation, and the legislation stated, which the farmers were arguing should be enforced, was that the public had the right to access the national parks on foot or on horseback, and that the public, by camping and by other facilities, was prohibited. That was what they said, and it went to the Supreme Court. And this is what Lord Justice Stevens said last year. He said that he found against the farmers again. He threw out the appeal, and he stated that the public had every right to access the national parks, to camp and to enjoy its facilities and its leisure. And that legislation that they must enter by horseback or on foot was determined to just mean the means by which they access the public park. It did not prohibit anything. So I want to ask the Dartmoor National Park, the Snowdonia National Park, what the hell are you playing at? What have you done to this man? Get ready to go to the High Court, because this is not going to be put up with by the good people round here. This man's neighbours and friends are disgusted at the way you people have behaved and what you've done. The fact that you would phone up and solicit complaints. And by the way, Jane, the word complaint, by the way, if you look at the etymology, it means a whining hag in French. So, and Bob doesn't have a complaints department. So you're going to have to deal with his friends, and I'm one of them, and I hope to speak to you soon, and get ready for the High Court. Hey, you wouldn't do that to your granddad, would you? But these people have done it. Flip and send them a message, get on your email and tell them what you think of the behaviour. One man and his dog. Back Farmer Bob.